evidence of progress. And of course, since I brought up someone that's a politician, we're going to have some comments in the comment section about how it's all just a big ruse and all this other stuff. No, it's happening. Sometimes it doesn't matter what's going on, just the people that are way into their politics, they're just going to take a negative stance on everything. Unless it's someone from their party, then they're totally on board with what they're doing. The fact is, as they changed their policies and their stance on the homeless situation and the crime situation, and became less tolerant, the city's been cleaned up. Sure, the Tenderloin, the absolute worst place, the TL as some of them call it, that's always going to be the Tenderloin. They could fix it up a little bit, but it's always going to be what it is. The rest of the city is what's looking a lot better. Alright, so that's the end of WTF San Francisco. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a comment.
Are some combination wrenches really that much better than others? Or is that $1 wrench just as good as the one that costs $40? Let's find out. In the first test, we'll see which wrench does the best job gripping a rusty bolt. Then we'll test the open end for maximum gripping strength. We'll then test the failure load for both ends of the wrench. At a price of $9 for 9 wrenches, or only $1 each, is this Pittsburgh brand, which is sold at Harbor Freight. Almost all the wrenches we'll be testing are half-inch 12 points. The Pittsburgh wrenches are made in India, and that's a lot of taper on the box end of the Pittsburgh. And the chamfer is supposed to help make it easier to place the wrench on the fastener, but the wrench is giving up some grip. The Pittsburgh weighs 69.3 grams. In the first test, let's see which wrench performs the best on a rusty fastener. Several weeks ago, I removed the zinc plating on all the fasteners, and the bolts have around 100 treatments of very aggressive rusting agent. This allows for a pretty realistic scenario faced by a lot of people, especially those in the rust belt. I then used a wire wheel to remove as much rust as possible. To make this test more realistic, I'll reduce the contact area of the wrench by adding a washer between the fastener and the wrench. The goal for each of the wrenches is to use 370 inch-pounds. This is the point at which the rusty bolts are likely to break. And if Pittsburgh has way too much taper and gave up early at 203.7 inch-pounds. At a price of $4 is this Husky brand. Manufactured from chrome alloy steel and heat treated for added strength. Chamfer lead-ins for easy and quick placement on the inch-pounds. This is the point at which the rusty bolts are likely to break. And if Pittsburgh has way too much taper and gave up early at 203.7 inch-pounds. At a price of $4 is this Husky brand. Manufactured from gave up early at 203.7 inch-pounds. At a price of $4 is this Husky brand. Manufactured from chrome alloy steel and heat treated for added strength. Chamfer lead-ins for easy and quick placement on the fasteners. The Husky is made in India, and the Husky weighs right at 74 grams. And the Husky easily passes tests, surpassing the target torque of 370 inch-pounds and making it to 407.7 inch-pounds. We'll be testing two different combination wrenches made by Gear Wrench. The first one is a 6-point and costs $7. Off-corner loading design on box end provides better grip and reduces fastener rounding. We're going to test that. The Gear Wrench is made in China. The Gear Wrench is very light at 64.6 grams. And there's just way too much taper on the Gear Wrench 6-point, 329.5 inch-pounds. At a price of $8 is this Performance Tool brand. Box end provides rounded corners for increased torque. The Performance Tool wrench is made in China. Performance Tool weighs 74 grams. And there's just way too much taper on the Performance Tool, 251.1 inch-pounds. At a price of $9 is this Craftsman brand. And the Craftsman has quite a bit of taper. The Craftsman is made in India. And the Craftsman is the heaviest yet at 95 grams. And the Craftsman barely reached the 370 inch-pounds before slipping. At a price of $10 is this Cobalt brand. And there's quite a bit of chamfer on the Cobalt. The Cobalt is made in China. The Cobalt weighs 77.6 grams. And the Cobalt gave up very early at only 168.3 inch-pounds. Also the price at $10 is this Crescent brand. A little bit less taper on the Crescent compared to some of the other brands. The Crescent is made in India. The Crescent weighs 80.7 grams. With less taper, the Crescent easily outlasted the Bolt at 388.5 inch-pounds. Also the price at $10 is this Tekton brand. And the Tekton has less taper than most of the other brands. The Tekton is made in Taiwan. The Tekton weighs 80 grams. And the Tekton easily outlasted the Bolt at 378.7 inch-pounds. At a price of $11 is this Klein Tools brand. The Klein Tools is made in Taiwan. Klein Tools weighs 84.6 grams. And there's quite a bit of taper on the Klein Tools. With so much taper, the wrench just couldn't get a good grip, 321.1 inch-pounds. At a price of $12 is this Williams brand. On the box end of the wrench, the Williams has a lot less chamfer compared to previous brands. The Williams is made in Taiwan, and the Williams weighs 99.1 grams. Compared to the previous brands, the Williams has virtually no chamfer. And there's just no way the Williams is going to slip with such a great design. And the bolt broke at 403.8 inch-pounds. At a price of $14 is this Matco brand. The Matco is made in Taiwan, and the Matco has quite a bit less taper compared to most of the previous brands. The Matco weighs 92 grams, and the Matco had no problem outlasting the Bolt in Taiwan. 103.8 inch-pounds. At a price of $14 is this Matco brand. The Matco is made in Taiwan, and the Matco has quite a bit less taper compared to most of the previous brands. The Matco weighs 92 grams, and the Matco had no problem outlasting the Bolt at 378.4 inch-pounds. Also at a price of $14 is this Gear Wrench 12-point. Open-end off-corner loading design provides up to 25% more torque. Surface drive technology provides the Gear Wrench weighs 95.7 grams. Just like the Matco, the 12-point Gear Wrench easily unlocks the Bolt at 378.6 inch-pounds. Compared to most of the other wrenches, the box end on the right has a lot less chamfer. The right and the right performs very well, making it to 369.1 inch-pounds from the Bolt Pro.
Your ass, nigga. Who you thought you was fucking with?
Open end. The Proto is made in USA. The Proto is the heaviest yet at 105.4 grams. And the Proto easily outlasted the Bolt, making it to 390.1 inch-pounds when the Bolt gave up. Also the price of $19 is this Gador brand. Slim jaw and slim walls make this spanner lighter overall. The Gador brand is made in Germany, and the Gador is very light at only 51.5 grams. With the minimal amount of taper, the Gador brand looks ready to go to work. Plenty of contact with the Bolt, and the Bolt broke at 375.3 inch-pounds. At a price of $21 is this Sunex brand. V-groove design reduces wear on fasteners, and the Sunex uses a lot more taper on the leading edge of the box end compared to most of the other brands. The Sunex is made in India. The Sunex weighs 94.9 grams, and the Sunex just doesn't get a good grip on the bolt.
That's your ass,
Open-end
nigga.
design prevents rounding off with faster edges. The Mac Tools is made in Taiwan. The Mac Tools weighs 104.4 grams. The Mac Tools box end has just a very small amount of taper. And the Mac wrench easily outlasted the Bolt at 408.6 inch-pounds. At a price of $22 is this SK wrench, designed to avoid rounding rusted or damaged fasteners. The SK wrench is made in USA. SK Tools weighs 73.6 grams. 370 is the number to beat, and the SK Pro broke the Bolt at 374.8 inch-pounds.
Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. Spray, wipe, rinse. Dawn Power Wash.
The number to beat in the SK Pro broke the Bolt at 374.8 inch-pounds. I thought it'd be very interesting to add a vintage SK Tools wrench. This one, too, is made in USA. The vintage SK weighs 72.6 grams. And the vintage SK wrench has way too much taper on the box end at 242.8 inch-pounds. At a price of $150, approximately $12 each is this Faycom brand. The Faycom wrenches are designed to ensure user safety when critical tightening torque is reached.
What's up,
The
Hobo?
wrenches
What
distort
you got for
gradually,
sale?
meaning no braking. The Faycom wrenches are made in France.
Nigga, I know
Faycom weighs right
guns,
at
you
69
Hobo
grams.
piece of shit.
And the Faycom is very well designed for this test and outlasted the Bolt at 373.3 inch-pounds. At a price of $40 for just one wrench, the most expensive brand we'll be testing is made by Snap-on. Snap-on claims their flank drive system grips the fastener flats and provides up to 15 to 20% more turning power. Manufactured from special alloy steel, precision forged, and heat treated. The Snap-on is made in USA, and the Snap-on weighs 90.4 grams. And the Snap-on bolt finally broke at 409.6 inch-pounds. No damage to the head of the bolt. Too much taper on poorly designed 12-point wrenches oftentimes gives high-quality ones a bad reputation for rounding rusty fasteners. The first test is a pass-fail test, and most of the wrenches reach the target torque of 370 inch-pounds before losing grip or before the bolt broke. This next test is just a warm-up for the wrenches on some low-carbon steel bolts. The open end of the wrench is just too wide to make contact with the entire head of the bolt. I'll replace the bolt between testing each of the brands. This is just a warm-up test, and the upper jaw in the Pittsburgh just broke. And the Husky performed very well at 403.3 inch-pounds before losing grip. The Gear Wrench 6-point barely edged out the Husky at 406.9 inch-pounds. And the Performance Tool lost grip at 385.3 inch-pounds, or about 20 less than the Gear Wrench. And the Craftsman moves into the lead over the Gear Wrench at 412.8 inch-pounds. And the Cobalt gave up a little bit early at 373.3 inch-pounds. And the Cobalt slipped at 368.1 inch-pounds. And the Texas lost grip at 338.7 inch-pounds. The Sonic Tool performed quite a bit better at 380.7 inch-pounds. And the Gear performed about the same as the Sonic Tool at 380.8 inch-pounds. And that Tool performed probably better at 410.8 inch-pounds. The Gear Wrench also performed better than average at 411.1 inch-pounds or very close to 6.4 pounds. And the Gear performed 4.5 inch-pounds. And the anti-slip design of the Pro performed very well at 4.8 inch-pounds. And with Slim and Tom John designing the Gador with the textured finish performed exceptionally well at 426.4 inch-pounds to take the lead from the Proto. And the Sunex performed well at 401.1 inch-pounds. And the Mac Tools is definitely onto something with their jaw design. 504.9 inch-pounds, very impressive. And the SK Pro let go at 372.9 inch-pounds. And the vintage SK wrench performed a little bit better than the new wrench at 391.8 inch-pounds. And the Phaecon performed well above average at 421.9 inch-pounds. And the Snap-on peaked at 427.3 inch-pounds before the second attempt when the Snap-on slipped at 384 inch-pounds, most likely due to the bolt having some damage. And the wrench with the best open-end performance is the Mac Tools at 504.9 inch-pounds. Snap-on finished in second at 427.3, Fedora 426.4, Proto 424.8, and Phaecon 421.9 inch-pounds. Before moving on to the next test, I use a half-inch Allen key, which is not working in a tight space, slot can really hurt efficiency, and a loose fit might also hurt the grip. At 6 inches from the face of the wrench, the Phaecon has the least amount of up and down travel on the open end of the wrench at 0.33 inches. Snap-on was about the same at 0.34, Husky 0.39, and Cobalt 0.42 inches. Some of the wrenches, such as the gear wrench and the Proto, use an off-corner loading design, but that causes a lot of excess back and forth unloaded travel. For the box end, the Mac Tools has the least amount of slots at 0.35 inches. Husky, Crescent, Matco, Williams, and Proto also had very little play at 0.37 inches or less. I put together a tester and will be using some pretty soft coupling nuts to see how much torque each wrench can handle before rounding off the fastener. To provide an apples-to-apples torque comparison, I'll extend the length of the shorter wrenches so that all wrenches are tested at 8 inches in length. And the Pittsburgh rounded out the nut at 230 pounds of downward force on the handle at 8 inches of handle length. And the 12-point Husky has a lot less slot compared to the Pittsburgh. And the Husky outperformed the Pittsburgh at 277 pounds before rounding off the fastener. I had to stop the test on the 6-point gear wrench at 248 pounds as the wrench began bending and just couldn't handle the torque. And the Performance tool claims their rounded corners on the box end are designed for increased torque. And the closed end of the wrench became an open-end wrench at only 206 pounds. And the Craftsman wrench didn't bend or twist nearly as much as the previous brands. And the Craftsman lost grip at 225 pounds. And the Cobalt offers less back and forth play than the Craftsman, and it performed better as well at 267 pounds before losing grip. And the Crescent has even less slop than the Cobalt, and it also beat the Cobalt at 270 pounds. And the Tekton has even more play than the Cobalt and the Crescent, but still performed almost as well, 266 pounds. Klein Tools has more play than the Cobalt, Crescent, and the Tekton, and the Klein Tools lost grip at 257 pounds. The Williams has very little slop, but just isn't as wide as some of the other brands, 256 pounds. And the Matco performed very well in the first two tests, but it came up a little bit short on this test at 240 pounds. The 12-point gear wrench performed better than average at 266 pounds, the same as the Tekton. And the Wright Tools moves into the lead at 321 pounds or 44 pounds higher than the Husky. And the Proto performed even better than the Wright Tools at a very impressive 334 pounds to move into the lead. And the Fedora wrench is very lightweight compared to the competition. And I had to stop the test at 163 pounds as the wrench began bending and twisting. And the Sunex takes the lead from the Proto with a very impressive 337 pounds. And the Mac Tools performed very well in the first two tests, and it performed well in this test at 312 pounds. The box end on the SK Pro isn't as wide as some of the other brands, and the SK Pro lost grip at 285 pounds. And the vintage SK wrench actually outperformed the more junior and less experienced counterpart at 290 pounds. And the Phaecon performed quite a bit better than average at 324 pounds, which is good enough to move into third place behind the Proto. However, the handle on the Phaecon did experience a bend. And the Snap-on made it to 279 pounds before rounding off the nut. And the Sunex came out on top at 337 pounds. The Proto finished in a close second at 334, Phaecon 324, Wright 341, and Mac Tools 312 pounds. Let's use a piece of this half-inch Allen key wrench to test the failure load of each of the wrenches. Unlike the previous test, the entire open end of the wrench will make full contact and the jaws of the wrench will stretch and bend. Skipping the Pittsburgh since the wrench is broken, and skipping the Husky since I made a mistake during the testing. And the gear wrench made it to 819.4 inch-pounds before giving up. Unfortunately, the open end of the wrench has been stretched to be quite a bit larger than it was before the test. The box end of the Performance tool broke off in the previous test, and the open end broke off in this test at 655.8 inch-pounds. And the Craftsman gave up a little bit early on this test at 719.7 inch-pounds. Just like the Craftsman, the Cobalt gave up a little bit early at 682.6 inch-pounds. And the Cobalt looks more like a 9/16 after that test. And the Crescent brand moves into the lead at 1,077 inch-pounds. And the Tekton performed nearly the same as the Crescent brand at 1,162 inch-pounds before giving up. And the Klein Tools moves into a commanding lead at 1,297 inch-pounds or 220 inch-pounds better than the second place finisher. And the Williams performed well above average at 1,197 inch-pounds. And the Matco performed very well at 1,200 1,245 inch-pounds, which is good enough to move into second place. And the gear wrench moves into the lead over the Klein tools at 1,333 inch-pounds. And the Wright tools perform good enough to move into fourth place, just behind the Matco at 1,221 inch-pounds. Instead of the John being invented, just like the other brands, the Hurley stripped at 1,050 inch-pounds. And the Gador is just too light duty to handle the force. We started the test at 765 inch-pounds when the handle began to bend. And the Sunex performed better than average at 1,072 inch-pounds. Once again, the Max tools performed very well at 1,204 inch-pounds, which is well above average. And the SK Pro performed better than average at 1,091 inch-pounds. And the vintage SK Tools wrench gave up just short of 1,000 inch-pounds, or 91 inch-pounds less than the new SK wrench. And the Faycon performed well at 1,069 inch-pounds, which is very close to the same as the SK Pro. And the Snap-on performed quite a bit better than average at 1,197 inch-pounds.
Sweeping heavy-duty cloth, strap, bust, third, and hand.
At 1,197 inch-pounds. And the Gear came in on top at 1,333 inch-pounds. Close second at 1,297, Matco 1,245, Wright Tools 1,291, and Mac Tools 1,204 inch-pounds. Let's once again test the box end until failure. This time, and the Pittsburgh rolled over and gave up at 379 pounds. The wrench is badly bent, and the Husky performed quite a bit better than the 460, skipping the bent 6-point gear wrench and the broken performance tool wrench. And the Craftsman is a pretty robust wrench and held on for a long time. At this test, things either go to bed or break. And now it's time to test out that Craftsman warranty. Just kidding, this one's going in the trash. And things seem to be going great for the Cobalt when they suddenly went from happy to snappy. Major damage to the Cobalt. Fortunately, the safety rope did its job and held back the Crescent brand from exacting revenge on me when the wrench broke at 489 pounds. The Crescent refused to break, but it now has a new twist in it that'll work great for reaching over the corners. And the Klein tools performed just about as well as the Husky, finally giving up at 458 pounds with a pretty bad bend. All of the wrenches are going to bend or break, and the Williams refused to bend. And that makes my knuckles hurt every time I see it. If you're looking for a wrench that 11 pounds, and the Matco is badly bent. And the gear wrench performed much better than actually this test, 25 pounds. And the Wright tools refused to break, but it did experience a pretty bad bend after reaching a peak torque of 424 pounds. And the Proto is built like a tank and made it to 492 pounds. It never broke, but it does have a pretty bad bend, skipping the Gador since it's already bent. And the Sunex gave up a lot sooner than most of the other brands at 312 pounds and now has a pretty bad bend. And the Mac wrench performed well in most of the testing and is near the top of this test at 468 pounds. Once again, the safety rope came in handy as the SK Pro tried to launch at 577 pounds, which is good enough to take the lead over the Craftsman. And the vintage SK wrench did nearly as well as the SK Pro and stayed together this time at 556 pounds. Skipping the Faycon, which has a bent handle. And the Snap-on refused to snap, but it did experience a pretty bad bend at 379 pounds. If you're looking for a wrench that can handle a lot of use and abuse, the SK Pro came in on top at 577 pounds. The SK Vintage did almost as well at 556, Craftsman 507, and Proto 492 pounds. So which brand won this showdown? The Mac Tools did the best with an overall finish of 3.6. However, the Proto also did very well with an average finish of 4.6. The 12-point gear wrench as well as the Snap-on tied for an average finish of 6. All the videos in this channel, including this one, are viewer suggested. So if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Please take care and look forward.
Yeah, got a new show for you. Got a damn good show. Before we start the show, hey, how can you support the twins? That's right, you guessed it, officialhardtwins.com. But remember, whenever you support us, try to support you back, because you're automatically entered to win our contest, which is a Ram TRX, $10,000 in cash. You ain't got no money to spend, you can get some free interest. All you gotta do is sign up for my email and my SMS list. Yeah, also, we got some comedy shows coming up. We're gonna be in Brea, California. Just added a second show there. Milwaukee, Green Bay, Wisconsin. We're coming to Lexington, Kentucky. Coming to Hazard, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. Man, we got all kinds of shows coming. Go to HawksWinStore.com for tickets. Anyway, LeBron James. You know that dude's a philosopher, man. Don't give him any credit. LeBron James is a philosopher. He's up there with Socrates, Plato, Friedrich Nietzsche? Yeah? Yeah, right beside Friedrich Nietzsche's bust, there's a bust of LeBron James like this. With his beard and everything. Looking like a dumb fuck. Because that's what you are. Saying some of the stupidest shit you ever seen in my damn life. Hey, you an intelligent man, I know you are. You're not gonna be in the NBA and be a damn floor captain for a National Basketball Association. Be a dumbass. You know what your problem is, LeBron? You're playing to your audience, a bunch of dumb fucks. A bunch of uninformed, country-hating fools. See, I play to my audience, too. I play to my audience. I'm concerned, but I play to my audience. I know what to say and what not to say. But when I say the things that I say, it makes sense, though. Shit you say don't make no sense. Just dumb. Because your audience is fools.
That's tu madre, bro. What the fuck you thought you were messing with, nigga?
Man, you just LeBron James, man. Crazy. Hell with the shit we used to do. Let's know what he said. What? You're not stupid. And we're not saying you're stupid. But you know what you're saying that
That's too
coming
big.
out of your mouth. Yeah, wrong. Yeah, okay, it might not be stupid. But for somebody that's not stupid, you say a lot of stupid shit. Yeah, he's playing to his brand, his audience. Brittany Griner's in Russia, right? Everybody knows about that. She's in jail. Yeah, they arrested because she's black. I don't think they're arrested because she's black. I think they're arrested because she's a black. If she's a big target, 6'9", American coming in, I don't think it has anything to do with her being black. I was being facetious. You thought I was being serious? What are you, stupid? Got some LeBron James going. No, but what he said about she's in jail. You know why she's in jail. Weed. Yeah. I mean, how much they find on her? Hey, man, can I say something? I mean, how much they find on her? Let's get some oil, some hash. They didn't find a roach or anything, right? She's in jail for pretty much anything, in my opinion. But yeah, you gotta follow the laws. Like, when I go to another country, I'm not doing anything stupid. Yeah. I'm on my best behavior. Yeah. I know in my country, I have rights. You know? Other countries, you do not have rights. Yeah. You should know that. You have rights. You have rights that countries' rights. Yeah. But this is what LeBron James had to say about the situation of Brittany Griner being over there. This is...
Your ass nigga, what's up? We got 11 motherfuckers this game, baby. Yeah, I'm solo. 11 motherfuckers all me, baby. Wow, whoa, I didn't say this shit.
Wow, impressive.